Alright guys, so today we're going to be talking about a new mobbing build for Gley, and this one actually doesn't use guns, so if you've been looking for a different way to play Gley, this is probably going to be the guide for you. So don't worry, Gley does still have unlimited ammo, so you don't lose that ability. But having said all that, let's hop into the guide. Alright, so for this build, I'm actually going to show you 3 different weapons that you will want to have on your Gley. The main reason for this is we are using one as a stat stick, we're using one to help you get your skills rolling, and we have one to help you with boss DPS at the end of the round. So to start out with, we're going to be looking at the Peacemaker. Now for this, we are just going to go ahead and put 3 sprint speed cores on this. The goal here is that when you have this weapon out, you're going to be able to move around the map ridiculously quick. That's all we're really doing with this, is allowing your Gley to have a lot of mobility. When it comes to the mods on this, you don't really need to put much on it. What I would say is, with this being a stat stick, just put things on it that help your neutral game. Mods like Defense Master and Better Weapon Weight are just great quality of life mods that are really nice to have on any one of your stat sticks. So outside of the Peacemaker, we are going to want to look at having Malevolent on this build. Now the Malevolent build we're going to be using for this was a build that we put together for Void Erosion 30. But don't worry, it still works in general content. So for this, we're going to go ahead and put 2 chill attack mods on here, 1 firearm attack and 2 fire rate cores. When it comes to the roll on this weapon, we are going to be going with chill attack, weak point attack, firearm attack, and I went ahead and put Legion of Darkness on here just because there wasn't really anything else great to put on it. It's up to you if you want to put something else in that slot, but this is the roll that we go with for Void 30 and general content. So when it comes to the mods on this weapon, we are going to build really heavily into the gun's base attack. Outside of that, we do stack a lot of chill damage on this. Again, this weapon is designed for Void 30, but you can use it in normal content, and it's going to do just fine in everything you play in. Outside of that, we put fire rate on here, and then there are 2 mag mods on here. And I know you might think to yourself, well, I don't really need these on here for Gley, but I'll explain during the gameplay loop how she actually works and why it doesn't hurt you to leave these on the gun. For her 3rd gun, we are going to go ahead and look at the Last Dagger. We put this gun on a lot of our descendants. This gun just does a great job of putting in work and helping to take out those final bosses, whether you're using it on Gley with her unlimited ammo or whether you're using Firing Fiesta and somebody else. So when it comes to the cores on this weapon, we are going to be looking at firearm critical hit damage, 2 firearm attack mods, and 2 fire rate mods. Cores, not mods. When it comes to the roll, we are going to go ahead and put bonus damage versus Colossus on here, firearm crit hit damage, weak point damage, and firearm attack. Again, we do put Colossus on here because we designed this gun to be more of a general use gun. That way you don't feel like you're wasting a bunch of resources having to make a lot of copies of the gun. This gun will do well in almost all content you take it into. Alright, so when it comes to the mods on this is what we're going to be looking at. Now, we're going to focus a lot on the weapon's base damage here. We are going to ratchet up that fire rate. We're going to get some additional crit hit damage on this. And then we're going to follow up with mental focus and ultra precision strike. At the end of the day, we're just trying to stack as much weapon damage on here as we can. One thing to keep in mind with ultra precision strike, you need to make sure you're hitting those weak spots. If not, you're going to really hurt your damage. So just keep that in mind and make sure you're aiming for weak points when you're using this gun. Alright, so when it comes to the reactor, we are going to want this to be a matching type reactor, and we are going to want to have dimensional skill power on this. Now we are going to go ahead and put hand cannon as the optimized condition because we are going to be mainly running one of the 2 hand cannons we showed before. Now when it comes down bottom, you are going to want to have skill duration up and skill cooldown. We're going to be sacrificing a little bit of damage here, but this build doesn't really need that much extra damage. The important part here is to have those because you're going to need those to help you keep close to or 100% uptime on your unlimited ammo, which you're going to be using to burn out the bosses at the end of all of your runs. Now for the components, we're going to use the Tried and True Slayer set here. You're going to see that this one does have a lot of MP and MP recovery, and that doesn't really benefit Gley, but with all the changes to component sets the way they are now, it is really easy, or it's a lot easier to go ahead and get the god rolls on these. And these are the actual god rolls for these component sets. Don't worry that the MP isn't really helping Gley out too much here. The important part is to actually just get the 4-piece set bonus, and that is what you're going to want when it comes to these components and when it comes to this build. Now for the inversion reinforcements here, we are going to go with risk mitigation protocol, Arche circulation tactic, and biodensity augmentation. The risk mitigation protocol is just going to make your malevolent feel that much better. Arche circulation tactic is going to help with your skill cooldown, and biodensity augmentation is going to help get you just a little bit more HP, which is going to help with your survivability. Now for your Arche tuning, this is what we're going to be going for here. We are going to be getting a little bit of extra weapon damage, and then we're going to be adding some skill damage on top of that. We're not actually going up and getting the cooldown nodes, and we're not getting the duration nodes. We don't really benefit that much from these nodes, and it feels much better on the build to sort of do a hybrid approach here, where you're focusing half of your efforts on skill damage and the other half on weapons. This is going to make her whole kit feel better and make you feel more impactful from the moment you step on the field until you kill that boss. So when it comes to the fellow here, go ahead and use the Hagios Sheepdog. This is one of the few times where I'm going to say to go ahead and use this dog on Gley. We're not benefiting from Gley being at low health, so having the extra healing is just going to help you feel better when you're traversing the map and when you're killing enemies. So when it comes to the build, we are going to go ahead and use Explosive Life. This is the mod that's going to allow her to mob really effectively. Outside of that, we're trying to get our cooldown down as low as we can. We want to be able to spam this as much as humanly possible. Outside of that, we do add a little bit of range and a little bit of duration. The main reason we're adding these things is because we do want to have both the explosive lights have a bigger radius to kill things, and we still want to have the availability to use unlimited ammo if and when we need to use it, especially for the bosses at the end of whatever it is we're fighting. Outside of that, we stack a bunch of damage on here, we tack on multi-talented, and we increase our HP. All of this combined is going to give you a very solid build, and you're going to really enjoy using Gley with the build that we've come up with. Now there is one last thing that I do want to talk about that I forgot to mention earlier in the video. When it comes to Peacemaker, you do get bonus non-attribute damage when you use dimensional skills as your reloads for Peace stack up. Now this is something that I did forget to mention earlier on in the video, but it is another reason that we are actually using this weapon as our main stat stick. Alright, so I'm going to go through how the skill loop plays out. It does not play out as well here in the testing area as it does in the field. So after I explain to you how the loop plays out, I will show you some B-reel of what this looks like in the actual game. So the first thing we need an orb on the ground. So let's go ahead and get an orb on the ground. Once we get an orb on the ground, all we're going to want to do is use R2. R2 is going to pop that orb, and it's going to do a ton of damage. Now, as you can see here on these level 260 enemies, we were not able to spam this ability. If we lower their levels a little bit and then go ahead and hit it, you can see we kill everything and it creates more orbs, which lets us use our skill again, which kills everything, which creates more orbs, and you can kind of see how this is going to feed into itself. So let's go ahead and look at the B-reel, and you can see in real time how this actually works. And then when it comes time to do boss damage, we will go ahead and pop your unlimited ammo and just start shooting at the bosses. As you can see here, this does do a good amount of damage. And while you don't have perfect 100% uptime on the unlimited ammo, it is pretty close. All right, guys, and that is everything you need to know about this new Gley mobbing build. I was pleasantly surprised with this build when I was using it today on the stream. And I hope that you guys have a lot of fun when it comes to trying this new build out on your own. It does bring a new way to play Gley, but still keeps the idea of Gley intact, which is that you have unlimited ammo or near unlimited ammo. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this build. Is this a build that you like, or is this just not something that sounds fun for you? If you have other builds that you would like to see, or other descendants that you would like me to check out and try to come up with different builds for, definitely let me know. And as always guys, thanks for watching the video, and if you enjoyed the content, consider liking and subscribing to the channel. And if you want to see more of our content, you can always come over and watch us live on Twitch. We stream 5 days a week, and we would love to have you as part of the community. But having said all that guys, thanks for watching, and as always, have a great day.